case you missed it, number one, I took my nails off for a bit, but this is my new palette with Mob Beauty called Late Night. Last night on TikTok Live, I used the shade Taxi. It's a very Miss Megan coated eyeshadow, but there is actually a story behind this because I made it with you guys in consideration, less about me. If you're new here, hi, my name is Miss Megan. I've been doing makeup for 15 years. 13 of them I worked for MAC. I'm no stranger to makeup and shades and colors, and also knowing what can go wrong in your makeup routines and how to fix them. This is my shade breakdown. This is an actual olive sand nude. So if you have olive undertones to your skin, this will actually pull that way. It won't look peach, it won't look pink. And then if you are a different complexion, whether it's lighter or darker, you can color correct with it a little bit. I put extra special treats in this to be able to color correct with it. Mob literally lets you make the colors exactly how you want. Like, it's the coolest thing ever. Then we just launched the Late Night palette. So it's 3 powdered eyeshadows and then the Suspended Sparkle Bomb, my most loved lip gloss. This is the shade Riff. So I made literally my lip color, but better and a little bit more neutral so that more people can wear it and it's not just like a typical nude. In this video today, I'm gonna do a full face of Mob Beauty, but I'm also gonna talk a little bit more about the shade Taxi. I used Taxi last night on TikTok Live. People really loved it and I'm gonna share it with you guys too. So if you wanna hang out, please keep on watching. First things first, 24-hour eye base always. Why did you take off your nails, Miss Megan? That is because they just get in the way sometimes and I'll get frustrated with them, and then I'll also, if I cannot come up with if I want them rectangle or square or stiletto, I'm just like, take them off. Take them off, I'll figure it out later. I'm also gonna pop it in my brows. I put this in my brows because it helps make the gel like laminate them down, and then it also controls oil. Not that I get oily, but it's the original way Fatima Thomas did them. Pro Locked Brow Gel from MAC. So with the Late Night palette, I wanted it to be a palette for you guys that had my essence, not the reverse. Sometimes you can create a palette that's like, oh my God, I want every single shade that I would wear and it's perfect for me. But I wanted to make sure that, like, with small tweaks and adjustments, it would stretch to either skin tone as much as possible without losing the essence. So with Taxi, I have seen people in my comment section when I wear Coquette eyeshadow freak out because they like it so much. They're like, what is that? Is it brown? Is it gray? Is it green? And the thing is that Coquette is not going to work on a lot of people. And it has more of that muddy dustiness to it. I was trying to make something that would have that essence but work for more people while still holding true to what I would actually wear. And this is why I don't believe in dupes ever. And even when you think something looks like it online, it just, like, trust me, it's just not. So that's Coquette, and then this is Taxi. So the way that Coquette reads on me has olive in it, right? But if you're a different skin tone and you put that on, it's most likely gonna push more into the gray. So that's also why so much disappointment happens online when you guys are buying stuff and like buying off of people's faces. So I'm like, okay, people want this like khaki, gray, olive shade that's like not green, right? Because like there's color and then there's like muted color, which that's the essence of Miss Megan. So this is an olive shade that actually has like more of that yellow, green, gray undertone versus something that's gray with like a hint of olive. I'm gonna take a Rephr 15 brush and I'm gonna press Taxi all over the lid. And I've talked before about how much I love the powdered eyeshadows from Mob Beauty. And there's something specific in the shade Echo, which we spent the most time making this one. I was like very particular about it. I'm particular about everything, but people had said this online when they were trying it on, that there's the powdered shadows almost look like there's a filter on your eye because of the smoothness of them. It's avocado treated pigment, so they're very buttery. I actually felt the base of it on its own, and it's very good. It has like a similar tone to my actual eye color. So I like all little hidden moments inside eyeshadow. Next, I'm gonna take the shade Echo. So this is actually like, it's a fairly neutral, like dove gray. Grays tend to go way too like cement blue, or they end up too brown. And I actually love this as like a wash of color too. So I'm just buffing out the edges with the same brush. I'm gonna do a second pass of Taxi. I'm gonna take this Nikki LaRose shader brush. I'm just gonna load Taxi under the eye as well. So many shades can turn like way too peach. I don't know why there's so much peach in things right now. So on fair complexions, things show up more peach. If there's not enough or there's too much white in a color, it'll show up really ashy. If there's not enough like of a color undertone, or if a formula is like too opaque, it can read really ashy on deeper tones. There's certain elements that have to be inside of a color in order for it to read well on multiple skin tones. So when I am talking about makeup, thinking about makeup, helping people with their makeup, and designing colors now, these are all the things that I think about, because I had to, working for MAC for 13 years, I had to problem solve the issues with everybody's anything consistently. And it was very important to me. If you've been following me for a while, you understand that product development and how product is made and how product works and ingredients is what's very important to me. And that's what has made me been able to solve so many problems for so long. Even here's an example. I think I talked about this story before once. I'm not sure. But on my paid Skool community platform, we do weekly calls. And on one of them, we were talking about, I think it was a color theory call, and we were talking about undertone. And she was saying how like she always gets the wrong shade, like she's never matched correctly, etc., etc. She was not on camera. I could only hear her voice. And I was like, just explain to me the color you were given. Explain to me. I'm like, are you darker around the mouth? Are you here? I said, what happens if you put this type of color on your skin? What does it look like? What happens when you do this? And she explained all those things to me. I said, okay, this is your color. I said, I'm very confident in it. I want to say I put her onto NC42, but she was given NC44. And I said, with this powder, you even changed it since then and like perfected it even more. And that was her color without seeing her. Because I've stored so many years worth of information and things in my head because I wanted to be good at what I did. So I do take things like color and the concept of dupes very seriously, because I take everything seriously. So when I'm like in the lab with this, right, like I check that we've created the color that I want, but what does it look like on this skin tone, this skin tone, this skin tone, and like how far can I push it before it starts to again lose its essence. Oh, that's what I was saying. My comment sections. I'm gonna go in with the Melt black eyeliner. So I get a lot of comments, and this is the tip I'm ultimately gonna give you. I get a lot of comments being like, will this work on blank? Will this work on my fair neutral skin tone? Will this work on my deep olive skin tone? Will this work on my deep brown skin tone? Like I get a bunch of different things. I'm gonna blend this out with a Rephr 03 brush. And the thing is in short, yes. Within a range, almost everything can work on you because it's just going to do something different. For example, let's take eyeshadow, right? If you're more fair, more of the color shows up, like the actual overtone color that you're seeing. So this will be like a little bit more intense. The deeper you go, the more of like the undertone you'll see. So you'll lose some of that green and it might look a little bit more smokier. And then depending on the depth of your skin, that's where if there's not enough green in it on your skin tone is where you could see more of that gray ashiness. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. It means you have to alter it. So you have to ask yourself, do you even want to do that? Because if you don't, that's fine. Then you have to find a deeper shade. But by having, you know, a darker green, you know, base or cream eyeshadow or eye pencil, like anything that creates a barrier between your skin tone and works with the eyeshadow will make the eyeshadow pop more, so that you're getting the effect of like what happens if you put it on fair skin where the base is lighter, so therefore it's like a bit brighter. That applies with eyeshadow specifically. You would not take that advice and apply it to like skin tone. That's entirely different. But yes, in short, so many of these things can work. It's the same thing, like you can put, you know, a lot of people can wear a lot of different lip shades, but is it doing what it wants? So does something like this, I got the most questions about like very fair skin. Is it going to work? Yes, but is it going to do what you want it to do is a different question. Alicia is like, she is like an NW. She's both NW10 and NW22. Like her undertone is so pink and then her overtone is so fair. So when things go on her, they go on her like as the color. So obviously I was finding a balance between the skin tones we tested things out on. I'd also done, this one never came out. It was just something that we tried, but I made a pink lip gloss. And when I was making the pink lip gloss, I wanted it to be like Barbie pink, but I said there cannot be a ton of white in it because then deeper complexions can't wear it. So we have to find the balance between it not pulling peach on lighter skin and then also not being white and chalky on darker skin. So it's not to say that it's like inevitable that that won't happen, that you'll put a color on and maybe you buy this palette and one of the colors doesn't work on you. Like that's possible, but there's more ways to make it work. Even like, it depends on where you start in an eyeshadow palette too. So if you have a deeper complexion, having this and Sneak as your base is gonna give you that pop that you need for it to stay vibrant, and then you can pack something like Taxi on top. That is where you're going to build your base tone so that the undertone isn't mixing with something that's going to conflict with the shade. So I'm very proud of the palette because I did my best for that to work. And then it's actually like you layer these colors. To no one's surprise, Late Night can be layered so that you have multiple different looks. You can wear them as single shades. You can layer them for dimension. It's not necessarily about like placing things everywhere. I want you guys, and you don't have to do this because you can just wear it like an eyeshadow palette, but you have a lot to play with. You can really mix and match things to create a different tone. Okay, I'm taking Taxi on the Refer brush and running it along what I just did. I'm gonna take Echo on the other Refer brush and just buff out this lower edge. So same thing, maybe Echo, Echo does look beautiful on extremely fair skin. It's just a wash, but maybe you can't put Echo everywhere, but you can use it to transition something else and would sort of always guarantee that you have smokiness. I'm gonna mix Echo and Taxi for the inside because that's what I like. So just like how I build lip combos, right, to create a new shade, to create something that like is more sculpted, it's the same concept with the eyes. So getting the colors to stay like as true as possible inside the pan was very important to me. And even if they do shift, they still carry the same vibe. I'm just gonna pop on a little bit of Max Stack Elevated. Mauve does do a black mascara as well. And it's kind of like your traditional fuller brush size than this. If you like makeup and you want to learn more things about like why things are working or aren't working, you can join my free Skool community. That's linked in my description. You'll be amongst a lot of really awesome people who are just in the same situation as you, where they're just like, I want to elevate. I'm tired of all the product that I own. Or I love all the product that I own, I just want to get better at doing it. So you can hit the link in my description to join for free. Okay, let's move on to some Mauve Skin. Put down a little bit of Hyperreal Ceramizer. I just used Fix Plus Magic Radiance. I have little piercings on my nails and they're getting caught. I'm no stranger to Mauve product. So this is my beloved M98 Hyaluronic Highlight Balm. You guys are asking me if this is similar to cream color base in terms of like application, and yes, it has shine to it, sure, but it's not. Cream color base had more pigment to it, where this is more like juiced skin. So I'm putting this on the highest planes of my face. My hair is beginning to irritate me in the center portions. And then this is the Ceramide Blurring Foundation, and I'm just gonna tap it on a 170 brush from MAC and just push it into the skin. Some of you know this, I love a solid cream foundation because you can alter it in so many different ways. You can make it your concealer, you can thin it out, you could apply it dry, like just full on. I take more of the M98 and pop this under my eye. And then I'm gonna take a Nikki LaRose N14, and I'm just gonna take the same foundation and just apply it as concealer. The smaller brush is what treats this as a concealer because it's like focusing the coverage. And I want to make sure that this stays shiny because that's how I like my skin. So I'm taking more of M98 and sandwiching all of this. This here is M80 Cream Clay bronzer. Their bronzer shades are really nice because they have a few of them that don't pull orange. I'm just going to, oh, this is a new Nikki LaRose brush. This is the N19. I'm using this as both like bronzer and contour. And I would also say too, one of the other really cool things about their shade system is it's very easy to navigate. So they have like, I think pink or rose, neutral, olive, golden or gold. They're like, so like this, delicious. I am missing a palette that has my more mustardy shades in it. That's fine. This is Cream Clay blush. I'm gonna take M91 and this is a Nikki LaRose N17. I think creams are one of the most beautiful formulas to work with. I've always been a cream person. Like when I first started doing makeup, in my makeup kit, I had, and I still have the Studio Radiant, the Studio Finish concealer palettes. It's what I like to use when I was like working at MAC as well. I'm like, you would never in any of my appointments, very rarely would you ever catch me with like an actual bottle of foundation. I was custom making your shade. I was like, no, we're addressing every single part of your face differently. Sometimes if I wanted to like further smooth out someone's skin, I would mix a concoction of like Studio Fix fluid and face and body, and I would do like a veil over top of their whole face. Almost after everything was done, I took risks, but I was just trying to like perfect everything, like every single part of the face. So I was like, don't look in the mirror because it's gonna look crazy until the end because I'm looking at every spot differently. I'm gonna mix a bit of M117. Also, if you haven't yet, Courtney Quarantine did a look and unboxing of Late Night, and it's a really good video. I'm just pressing the blush in. I'm just gonna hydrate with Fix Plus. Love it, lock it in. Even like this shade here, which is Reverb, has more vibrancy to it, right? You get that pop, you get that intensity. But when you start to stretch it out, there's more of like a neutral brown that's under it. So if you buff this across your lid, the green's gonna disappear, you're gonna get more of the brown. If you pack it on, you'll get more of that intensity. If you have Sneak as the base, you can get a more, why is this finger not coming forward? There we go. That's it with Sneak underneath, and you can continue to build that like as much as you need. This is with Sneak and Reverb, and you can add another layer over top. So you can kind of build things to your heart's content, but it's still gonna have that like lived in feel. Sneak is probably like the most fun. I already made that shade once because I was like, Vic, I need a color. I said, you know how figure skater tights look? Or you know how performer, like if performers are on stage and their legs look perfect because they have those tights on. Sometimes there's like a little bit of a fishnet over the tight. I said, I want that in an eyeshadow. Like I want my eyelids to look like that. And so this doesn't even have a name. This was originally what we came up with. It's not stabilized, this color in particular. So this would just like, I already dropped one, it just shattered because it's not meant to be that way. So that's the powder version. So I said, okay, I'm like, that has to be in the palette because it does the sweaty thing that I want too. So we made it into Suspended Sparkle Bomb. So that's the powder, that's Suspended Sparkle Bomb. More intense. Another thing I really like too, muted blush shades. Now muted does not mean grunge. It does not mean emo or goth. It means that there is like, on like a saturation scale or like vibrancy scale, there's less saturation to it. And that's sort of what you want when you want to build like neutral tones on the face. If you want higher saturated colors on deeper complexions, in theory. So I'm mixing, what is this? M31 Oh yeah, this is M36. This is actually a bronzing shade. I use it as blush and then mixing it with M31 blush. So this is a bronzer for fair skin. And I'm gonna take M19 as well and just do the sides. Is that blush? Yeah, that's blush. Oh, too orange. I knew that going into it, but I still wanted to do it. Okay, we're gonna take some of M37. I'm gonna take my foundation again and just press everywhere. I'm gonna go over my lips now. And probably one of the most underrated Mob Beauty product and potentially translucent powders. This is the Mob Beauty translucent powder. I love it. Oh, and you're probably like, why does this packaging look like the way it does? The packaging turns to dirt. So you can put it in your compost or bury it outside. The reason I love this powder is because it's a radiant matte. So I get the like hold and longevity of what matte can do, but it's not flat. I don't like anything that looks flat. This is what the skin looks like up close. Okay, if I was to pick top 3 Mob products that aren't my own, it would be the M98 Hyaluronic Highlight Balm, the translucent powder. This is my second one. This is the M1990 lip pencil, which we're about to use. I'm gonna go in with M1990. That's what M1990 looks like. And then we're gonna use M159 for definition. This looks delicious. I would take this off to film another video. Now I'm like, oh, I wish I filmed this video last. And then we're gonna go in with my shade Riff, which is oh so beautiful. Literally, Courtney said it best in their video. This is hot girl essence. So there is a thing, and I'm so glad Courtney said it because it is actually something that lived rent-free in my head that was clearly running in my subconscious when I created this. So I wanted My Lip But Better. I wanted something that was a little bit more neutral than a lot of the My Lip But Better shades that are out there. And I wanted it to be something that like I liked on its own, but is also a really great base shade to create a nude lip combo because I don't want a lipstick, I want a lip combo. There are images of hot girl lips, right? That just have a certain vibe to them, a certain feel. And when you try to like, you go to buy the product that looks like what it is in that image, there's always something wrong with it. So I was like, how can I embody that? And the choice was putting it in a gloss instead of a lipstick. And the Peptide Cushion Drench, listen, please, Mob Beauty, may I please have a vault? Can I please create lip pencils and lip glosses? I think it would be really good. I needed to embody that. And the formula is like a lip treatment. You could put this on and like go to bed. It feels so good. Like my lips after are so pillowy soft. It's not, I usually like sticky gloss. This is not sticky, but it's just thick enough, And the really cool thing, like I really need to drive this point home. The really cool thing about being able to create a shade, right, is the only thing that is standard across all of the like gloss, all of the product, but like I'm gonna speak to the glosses for example, because it's just myself and Jessica who have made gloss shades, is the base formula is the same, but based on how we want it to look, changes the finish. So this has like a sheer, I was looking at it in the sun. There's like a sheer, like tiny, tiny microscopic sheen to it, like sparkle wise. This is more of like, it's like a translucent hot girl pinky nude. Where like, this is Diamond Star Halo. This was like a collective sort of effort. This, I don't know if you can see, this has more chunky sparkle in it. Jessica's Dark Star has more chunky sparkle. My breakdown is more of like a cream. And that's all because of what we were trying to nail in terms of the color itself or how it moved on the skin. So that's like a really, really, I cannot stress this enough. That is an incredibly cool element of using mod product and knowing they're created by someone else. Now, Riff is permanent. The eyeshadow palette is limited edition, except for eventually you'll be able to buy Reverb on its own. And then it should be coming to Beautylish soon. We're gonna take Breakdown and just knock back a little bit of the pink. So if you have pinks at home and colors that like are too not nude enough, not doing what you want, this is your color correcting shade. I love it. Look at that. It's beautiful. So if you struggle with like understanding what you like about makeup or what you don't like about makeup and you want to start figuring it out, make sure you come over to my free Skool community. I'll put the link in the description, totally free to join. You will make some new discoveries a couple days in. And again, this is my palette that's available right now with Mob Beauty called Late Night. This is by far, like the lip gloss was cool, but this is by far one of the coolest things I have ever done. Thank you guys for being here. I'm so grateful for this opportunity and that you guys like to hear me yap about very like sciencey makeup stuff. Officially lifting the use what you have mantra. If you'd like to get this, if not, use what you have, make it work for you. But if you can grab this, that is so amazing, because then it would tell Mob we want to make more lip liners and lip gloss with her. Let me know if you have grabbed Late Night. Let me know what questions you have about Mob, if you've used it before. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a post. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram so you don't miss out on any Miss Megan news. Join my free Skool community if you want to know a little bit more about your makeup routine. I hope you love Late Night just as much as I loved making it. Don't be late for school, and I'll see you next time. Bye.